On a May day in 1975, I saw and reported on my first Kentucky Derby. And at the moment those horses appeared on the track before the great crowd, their jockeys in silks of many colors, the strains of that plaintive song drifting through the air of springtime, from that moment on, I loved the sport. You know, there's a certain democracy in racing. Owners of great wealth, trainers to the racetrack bred, the small, brave men and women called jockeys, the grooms caring for the horses with love. All of them are equal on the backstretch in the morning and the winner's circle in the afternoon. They win with grace and they lose with sportsmanship. Now, why my old Kentucky home moves us all, I don't really know. I'm not from Kentucky. But when they sing "Weep No More, My Lady," my eyes are filled up. It's part of the passage of life, I think, to hear it every year and to watch the greatest 2 minutes in sport, the Kentucky Derby.
Opens it to 4 lengths. A firm, steep Crawford is going to win this 104th running of the Kentucky Derby.
Through the years, we watched those Triple Crown winners and even saw their predecessor, Secretariat. When the champions achieved greatness, we were there. When heartbreak was the story, we were there too. We were always there as they came down the stretch to Dave Johnson's famous line.
Down the stretch they come. Unbridled takes command.
We're taking the lead. He's on the lead, Miss Getty. He's on the lead. He's going to win. He's going to win. We won it. We won it. You won the Kentucky Derby. Oh, Miss Getty, I love you.
It's Gopher Jim digging in and holding on.
You're a fighter, Jim. 1 more furlong to go. Run for the roses as fast as you can. I love you.
Unbelievable. Woody Stevens has won his 5th Belmont Stakes in a row.
Here comes Ferdinand on the rail.
Bill Shoemaker was 54 years old, and for him to have ridden like that really sort of transcended the whole idea of the Derby victory. I mean, it was an amazing performance by any athlete, anywhere.
The greatest race I ever saw was the Preakness of '89 with Sunday Silence and Easy Goer. It was just the marrow of the sport. It was everything that horse racing is about.
Easy Goer on the inside with a slight lead. On the outside, Sunday Silence. The rest of them far back. Here's the finish of the Preakness. Sunday Silence and Easy Goer. Photo finish. Noses apart. I can't tell.
Well, it was Sunday Silence, also the greatest race we've ever seen. We've seen great rivalries between trainers. 1996 marked the first time D. Wayne Lucas and Bob Baffert squared off as Grindstone edged Cavanier in a photo finish.
We got it. I don't know. I don't know.
The moral of that story was never turn your back on Wayne Lucas and the Triple Crown. Never, ever, ever.
It was the 6th consecutive Triple Crown race victory for Lucas. All told, he's joined us in the winner's circle 13 times.
13. That is just awesome.
But Baffert had his revenge the following year, beating Lucas to win his first Derby.
Silver Charm by a neck with Gary Stevens. 123 years and you don't get a better race than this.
However, Baffert's charmed bid for a Triple Crown ended that June.
50 yards to go. Touch Gold wins it by half a length, denying Silver Charm will finish second his Triple Crown.
In 1998, Real Quiet brought Baffert to the brink of another Triple Crown. But again, the Belmont was his undoing.
It's Real Quiet to Sorbo, but on the outside, Victory Gallop, too tight to call. Did he win the Triple Crown?
No. And so it was that 2 of the closest finishes in history denied Bob Baffert his chance at racing immortality. Over the past 40 years, we've been drawn in as much by the human beings as by the horses. We've been intrigued by the jockeys and their great talent, their endless courage, and for the sheer beauty of their performances. All of the greats made it to our winner's circle. But perhaps none touched us more than Chris Antley.
A writer said that he had the face of a choir boy, and he did. But to me, It'll always be that earnest look when he would be looking at me and saying, "Didn't he go well?"
Down the stretch they come. Strike the gold on the outside with Chris Antley taking command.
He was 25 years old when he triumphed in the 1991 Kentucky Derby. An old 25 because twice he had been suspended for drug abuse.
I have to just keep fighting and keep showing everyone else that I am reliable.
7 years later, troubled by weight problems, Antley quit the sport.
I looked at myself as a total jerk. I saw racing on TV. I don't know, they showed a race or something, and I was by myself, and I kind of peeked at it to say I used to do that.
So Chris used his addictive nature as a positive. Jogging up to 25 miles a day, he was determined to return to racing. He found his way to Charismatic, who had run an acclaiming race just 2 months before. Together, they made a most unexpected run for the roses.
I was pointing back at the one who gave me that victory of self-worth, self-accomplishment, the victory of being at home again.
The culmination of the comeback horse and the comeback boy just made that an incredibly emotional winner's circle interview.
I want to say something to my family and friends back in South Carolina. They watched me get here to this road. It was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. Miracles were made to come true, and it happened today for me.
Miracle number 2 came at Pimlico.
It's Charismatic and Chris Antley, a possibility for a Triple Crown. Charismatic, the Derby winner, wins the Preakness.
What God's given me up to this point, no one could ask for more. No one.
And so they rode to Belmont, where in the midst of all the chaos that comes with a Triple Crown possibility, Chris Antley at last, it seemed, had found peace.
Here's the finish. It's going to be tight. Charismatic denied the Triple Crown. Charismatic is pulling up.
A jockey doesn't jump off a horse at that point right after the race unless there's something desperately wrong. He fell. He didn't land on his feet. And he was an exhausted man after riding a tough race. And yet his love of the animal was paramount.
You know, he broke down just after the wire. You know, it's just a sad thing when these things happen. He gave us a lot.
Chris Antley saved Charismatic's life.
Everybody's thought right then was, my God, we're going to lose the horse. Who would have ever thought that we were going to lose the rider?
Chris Antley was a kind and sensitive man, but the demons that plagued his career never left him. They tormented him in the day, and they crawled in with him when he went to bed at night. In the end, he couldn't save himself, but he saved the life of a champion, and for that he'll be remembered.